Mr. Yadav, to begin with you, earlier on, the sheer fact that EVMs were introduced on the same premise of the ballot papers being criticized in the time of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. The question also, Yogendra Yadav ji, is today that is the SIR a problem? Is the voter roll a problem? Is the EVM a problem? Because it seems today the messaging from the opposition is that everything is a problem.
Indeed, so much is the problem. Electoral reform is a bit of a euphemism because what we are dealing today is electoral deform and attempt to curb it. We have three levels of deforms. One is the issue conducted related with vote chori, which is about voter list manipulations, which is about EVM, which is about the conduct of local officials, which is about bribery at the time of elections, and so on and so forth. That's only one level. At the second level is what is all over the world called abusive constitutionalism, which is use of law in order to institutionalize this chori, which is dakati. To my mind, SIR, one nation, one election, and delimitation of the kind that is being proposed, we believe, would be in that category. And the third level is capture of the institution, the election commission itself, which is meant to address all these things. So what we have today is that the whole country is moving towards a system in which we would have a semblance of elections, the formality of election, the formality of competitiveness, while for all practical purposes, it's a very uneven playing ground. Someone is being asked to run on a flat surface. The other party, the opposition, is asked to climb uphill, and both of them are being given 100 meters to climb. And then someone would say, all right, the result is there, someone has done, run it fast. This is a completely uneven playing ground which is being created in a way which is worse than ever before in the history of this country. Therefore, not only the issues that you mentioned, much more is the problem. And in a sense, it's unfair to ask which one of them is a problem. Of course, all of them are a problem, and all of them put together today are placing Indian electoral system in a loss of credibility like never before.
Mr. Yadav, I'll come back to you for your 2 minutes. I want to bring in Rajat Sethi. Rajat Sethi, the charge today is that there is a slow institutionalization of a system. You know, it can be the VVPAT, it can be the EVMs, and then it was the SIR, then it would be delimitation, then it's one nation, one election, that there's a concerted move towards a semblance of democracy, which is in effect compromised.
Kirti ji, good evening. This continues to be a very boring, predictable rant or a loser's lament. All we are hearing is platitudes and euphemisms around trying to give a smoke screen to the core cause. The main cause where the previous speaker was highlighting that everything is wrong except the opposition. If this is the diagnosis that the opposition has of everything that is going on currently, this just shows that they live on a parallel planet. They have zero connect with the public. They have zero understanding of what the genuine needs of the public are, and they have completely crippled what an opposition should look like. Ideally, they should be picking up issues on the floor of the parliament which matter to the public. If they have any evidence, and it therefore has to be a legal fight, which you have to fight it out in various platforms. And if you deem fit, and there are genuine, undeniable evidences, you should have brought forward even on the floor of the parliament. But so far, we've seen repeatedly what has changed when this hydrogen bomb was dropped by Rahul Gandhi till today. The only event that has happened in the middle is that they have badly lost the Bihar election. Nothing on the ground reality has changed. Windows of opportunities that existed even after Bihar election to file complaints against any discrepancy that they saw in the electoral process have all lapsed. Not a single complaint has been put forth by them. You don't want to follow the due processes of law, but just like a prince, you want everything to fall in place and surround themselves with set of advisors like Yogendra Yadav ji, who try to take them onto Mars, where a different set of politics operate. That is the challenge. The challenge right now is that you've stopped hearing to the public and the public's genuine grievances. And you will continue to lament and continue wasting time, not just of the opposition space, but also of the common public. Carry on with it.
All right, I'm going to give both our panelists 2 minutes each. Yogendra Yadav ji, I want to bring you back into this conversation because there is no redressal with what we have seen. There are charges after charges that the opposition has made. And Yogendra ji, it also comes with the fact that while you will have the Congress criticize the Bihar election, call the Bihar election rigged, it will also celebrate the win of a by-election in Jubilee Hills. So there is a fair amount of confusion in the voters today that how is one election fair at the cost of the other, which is unfair. So either then the opposition goes ahead and says, we don't believe in the election system. We will not participate in an election which we think is fixed.
That precisely is the dilemma in competitive authoritarian states. I'm telling you, Kirti, this is a global trend now. India is just one of the examples of what is happening here. The basic idea is that you turn the electoral playing ground so uneven that while the chances of the opposition winning are not exactly zero, but they are so slim that you can constantly put them on the wrong track. The funny thing is that and then the interesting thing about this is that you cite the very results of the system as a proof of your popularity, which itself is under question. So how can you keep citing, oh, we win election, oh, we win election? But that's precisely what is being questioned. How can that be a proof of what is being argued? My friend wants to know, where is the proof? I'll pick two things that Akhilesh, because he probably wants me to speak only about Rahul Gandhi. He has some obsession with those things. I'll bring two things about what Akhilesh Yadav said today. He mentioned Mau. What has happened in Mau? And there is complete evidence. He has produced it. I have personally checked that evidence. Before SIR began, in the 2 months prior to SIR, 20,000 names were removed of people of one kind of community. The result is that in SIR, even enumeration forms will not be given in those houses. They are completely thrown out. Is that not an evidence? I'll give Kundarki. Kundarki is a place in Moradabad where by-elections were held after the elections that were held after the Lok Sabha election. Suddenly, and there is absolutely documented proof, statistically checked by econometricians. I'm serious about it. Some of the best minds in the country have checked that evidence, which shows that suddenly in those booths, Kundarki is a constituency that Samajwadi Party has always won. Okay. Suddenly, after the Lok Sabha election, all the booths with Muslims there, the voter list is prone.
Okay, so your time is up.